1, 2.
That 4-year-old Amelia Khan is even alive today shows she's a fighter.
Step, 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 yes.
But she's terribly damaged.
Step, Eva, we're coming to get you.
The victim of one of the worst medical mistakes in Australian history. This appalling tale began 5 years ago when new gas lines needed to be installed here at Bankstown Lidcombe Hospital. There was a mix-up in Theatre 8 though. Nitrous oxide was attached to the oxygen outlet. Doctors and nurses had no idea of the mistake, but from that moment on, disaster was inevitable. In the year that followed, 34 babies were delivered without requiring oxygen. Tragically for Amelia, she needed it. Worse still, the mistake wasn't picked up for another month, until the second baby, John Gannam, was also given the deadly gas and died.
Good evening. The catastrophic error killed a baby and left another brain damaged at Bankstown Hospital has tonight deepened.
We've certainly let them down. We should have done better.
But this was no freak accident. This was human error.
Turner pleaded guilty to failing to comply with health and safety duties.
And the man at fault was Christopher Turner, a contractor who was paid to install the gas pipes back in 2015. When he finished the job, he lied on official paperwork, claiming he'd tested the oxygen outlets when he hadn't.
So with this outlet, there's a screw thread here that's specifically sized. You place it on there and then you get oxygen hissing out.
Paediatric anaesthetist Dr. Justin Skono says doctors and nurses would have absolutely no way of knowing if pipes were fitted with the wrong gas.
And that screw thread is designed to prevent you connecting equipment that's not designed for oxygen to this outlet.
So the bottom line is, if it says oxygen, you expect oxygen's coming out, right?
We're assuming that's oxygen. Those copper pipes are bedded into the wall. They come from the tank that says oxygen, and we do have to, at some level, trust that oxygen is coming out of that wall.
Christopher Turner was charged with serious workplace health and safety breaches.
The extent of the harm caused is almost too awful to contemplate.
4 months ago, he pleaded guilty, and the judge was scathing.
Had he properly carried out tests of no great complexity, these two tragedies could not have happened.
Turner was fined $100,000 for his negligence, and all charges against Bankstown Lidcombe Hospital were dropped. Not surprisingly, Amelia's parents were outraged.
Does that give you some hope in the system? Or is $100,000 for the life of a baby and the life of Amelia absolutely not good enough?
It's not good enough. And I don't know what else to expect, because at every turn we've been disappointed.
What happened at Bankstown Hospital, Chris, was 100% absolutely avoidable.
Mark Buttigieg, a former electrician and now Labor MP, has come to the Khan's rescue. He's fighting to make sure this never happens again.
Amelia was tragically given nitrous oxide instead of oxygen shortly after she was born.
This week he introduced a bill in the New South Wales Parliament to fix what he calls a fatal flaw in the system, to guarantee that those who install medical gas are properly qualified.
As we are here, right here today, in New South Wales, you have to have a licence to plumb water, but not medical gas. And that in itself sums up the whole problem.
So you've got plumbers all around New South Wales at the moment who are unqualified, yet they're plugging up the gases that the doctors rely on to keep people alive.
It's worse than that, Chris. You have other people who are not even plumbers doing it, because there is no legal requirement for you to have a qualification of any sort.
Do you think that staggers the public?
Absolutely. But what's more tragic and what's more culpable is the fact that when something's happened and we don't react as legislators to do something about it, that's a crime in itself.
This is a very difficult thing to watch.
Oh yeah, no. It's very hard to watch this.
Remembering the day Amelia was born is confronting for Beanish and Daniel Kahn. Instead of capturing what was meant to be their most joyous occasion, they filmed their baby girl being suffocated.
And every time we watch it, it just brings back some memory. It makes you feel helpless.
But the Kahns say they've cried enough tears, and now they want the world to see this video to make sure no other child suffers from the same tragic mistake.
I think it's just a reminder for us to make sure to fight for Amelia and to make sure to get the outcome that she deserves. You know, whenever we watch this, we feel even more strongly about making sure that the right people are held accountable for her.
We asked the New South Wales government for an interview, but with a stuff-up of this magnitude, it's unsurprising no minister wanted to talk to us. Instead, they hid behind this statement. But in it is some good news. The government has now promised to implement changes to ensure only properly licensed contractors can install medical gas. Finally, a win for the Kahn family. Life may not be easy for little Amelia. And the simplest of tasks can be tough, but she tries her best. And her family celebrates even the smallest of wins.
Do you want to tell us how you're feeling right now?
She's even learning to communicate in her own way.
Are there some moments in your day, Beanish, where you just smile?
For sure, definitely. Yeah, I think just seeing Amelia smile in itself warms your heart.
She has
you know?
a very contagious smile.
Yeah.
What's striking about Beanish and Daniel Kahn is their remarkable strength. After all they've been through, it's hard for them not to be angry. But these impressive young parents don't dwell on it, or blame the doctors and nurses who delivered their beautiful baby girl.
Something that we like to teach Amelia is that although these things happen, we do forgive. And we don't hold grudges with anybody, and we never have. And that's our only way of healing as a family. Because if we still feel that pain, we will never be able to move on and be able to put our care and our attention into Amelia.
We've accepted what happened to Amelia, and I can't imagine Amelia in any other way. You know, she's funny, she's strong, she's resilient.
And for us, it's about living in the moment. It's about appreciating what we have right now and just enjoying that, because we know things can be taken away from us.